Hey guys, it's Shauna with Just Try to Be Nice, and this is how I make spaghetti. Now, normally I would just stick it all in the crock pot, but this week I had to buy really cheap meat. It was like really cheap meat. It was 70-27 or some crap, I don't know. So first thing I had to do was I had to cook my meat, and then I had to drain it because, like I said, you don't want to get all of this. See all that nasty grease? Oh my gosh! You don't want that in your spaghetti in your crock pot, because then your spaghetti is just floating in grease and it tastes really bad. So what I have here is I have 2 onions that I've diced up into little pieces. You see little dice, you know what dicing means. So I'm going to add those to this pan now. I've already browned all of this burger, and it is now, I'm just adding the onions, and I'm just going to kind of break them apart into little pieces partly, and then I'm just going to kind of barely braise them with the heat, because they're going to be cooking in the crock pot mostly for the day, so they won't really need to be cooked in here. I'm just doing it so that they will have a little more flavor than they would if they were just in the crock pot. So there's my 2 onions, there's my hamburgers, about 2 pounds of hamburger, and then in here I already have cut up really tiny and small orange peppers and red peppers, so I'm going to add those to my pan. And again, this isn't a necessary step. I could just add them directly to the crock pot, but I want them to have a little bit more flavor, so I want to infuse that flavor in there, and the only way to do that is with the heat. So now I have my green bell peppers, which these are bigger chunks, and I could make them smaller. It doesn't really matter. This is one of those, you know, you're a mom and you're trying to sneak food in on your kids kind of thing. But my kids like peppers, so big, 2 huge green bell peppers. So then that gets added. There you go. Wow, this looks so nice. It's so colorful. Look, I'm going to show you. Look how colorful that is. Look how beautiful the colors are. It's the colors of the rainbow. So, can you hear the colors of the wind? So there we go with that. So now that that's done, I'm going to set you right there. So now I've got this going. And I normally would not add taco seasoning. Like, what? I'm making spaghetti. Why would I add taco seasoning? But I have about 100 of these, and I'm trying to find excuses to use them. So I'm going to use them just for the seasoning, because once I put the tomato sauce and the pasta sauce over this, you're not going to be able to taste that. It's just going to add a little bit of a extra dimension of flavor, which I'm all about, the 3 dimensions of flavor. So here you go, and I'm just going to make sure that all of my peppers and my onions and my meat are good and coated in that taco sauce. And they're coming along. It's coming along very quickly and very easily. And you can tell if it's coated because it then takes on like a little orange hue to it. So it's really easy to tell if you've gotten it well mixed in. And you want to mix it in good, because if you don't, what you will have is you'll have one piece of onion that tastes like taco. So you want to make sure you get it good and mixed in there. And you don't have to use taco seasoning. You can also use just seasoning salt, or if you don't have that, you can just use plain old salt and pepper or garlic or whatever you want. I just wanted it to have a little bit of extra flavor. So I'm going to turn that up just a little bit because I want to hear it. I don't hear it yet. And so since I don't hear it, I know it's not done. So, there we go. Got it turned up. It's going to start talking to me in just a minute. Oh, there it goes. See? It's already talking to me. Can you hear what it's saying? It's saying I'm going to taste so damn good. That's what it's saying. Alright, so I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to wait until it keeps talking. It's going to start screaming at me in a minute. So I got to be sure it doesn't scream at me. I just want it to whisper. I want it to whisper sweet nothings to my taste buds. I do not want it to yell at me. So, there we go. Now that this is good and mixed and incorporated, I'm going to come over here and put it inside of my crock pot. Just like this. Watch. See? Ooh. See how easy that was? Oh my gosh, it was like so easy. There you go. Now, put your pan off to the side. Turn off your stove. Don't burn yourself. This burner's so hot. Don't burn yourself. So now I've got my meat and my peppers and my onions in my crock pot. Now I'm going to add 1 can of Italian-style diced tomatoes, which are garlic and oregano. And I love stewed tomatoes. I could eat stewed tomatoes all day by themselves, just by themselves. And I extreme coupon these, and I got them 2 for $1, so I have a bunch of cans like this. But I can only use this when I'm making Italian food because it's already got the basil and the garlic and the oregano added to it. So you certainly don't want to try to make, you do want to use these diced tomatoes to try to make tacos. It wouldn't work. Taco seasoning will work in here, but not the other way around. So now I've got my tomatoes in there, just like that. There we go. And I am going to put this on low and slow, baby. So I'm going to sit you right here. Take my crock pot, put it into the inside of my crock pot so it can actually cook. And I'm going to turn it on. Like I said, you want to do it low and slow because that beef is already cooked. You turn it on high, it's going to overcook and it's going to burn. So you want to do low and slow. It's about 1 o'clock now. We will probably eat this about 4 to 5. So it's going to cook for about 4 hours, really slow. And what I will do is I will come home and I will make the pasta separately, of course. And then right before I serve it, I will add a can of, or a jar of Prego spaghetti sauce to it. So you want the meat to have the tomato taste and you want the peppers and the onions to have the tomato taste. But if you put pasta sauce in your crock pot now and then you try to cook it, it'll break it down. Like, I don't know why, but your pasta sauce will break down in the crock pot if you cook it for too long. I think it's the tomatoes or something. So what you want to do is you want to add that about 10 minutes before you actually are ready to serve it. Cook your pasta separately and then strain your pasta and then add your Prego sauce to the meat sauce that you have, and then your kids will love it. Yeah. So there you go. That is how I make spaghetti. It's like, well, I mean, how I make spaghetti sauce, I should say. How I make meat sauce should probably be the best description for this video. There you go. It's not hard. The video is 7 minutes long, and it took me about another 5 to 10 minutes to cut up all of the peppers and onions. And if you want to buy those things at the store pre-cut up, you can. They're like $1.50 more. But if you want to do that, do it. I don't mind cutting up my own vegetables. So but add the time that it's going to take you, of course, if you're cutting up the vegetables. Add that time. So, you're looking at about maybe 10-15 minutes total, and then another 15-20 minutes to boil the water later. So there you go. That is how I make meat sauce. Talk to you later. Bye.